Hello, self. Ohana, Cosmos, Universe. This is Magic Mirror work for March 11th, Tuesday, 2025. This is for me, by me, through me, as me, and if you so choose to watch it, that's up to you. I hope you get something out of it if you do, but know that these aren't the videos that I'm creating for you right now. It's for me. This is my practice. That's why it's Magic Mirror work. It's as if I'm speaking into a mirror and practicing, noticing myself, seeing myself, accepting myself, loving myself. And that's a part of it right now, is acceptance. I was grateful for a very powerful call I had yesterday morning with my beloved and my son. We were trying to figure out how to best guide his education, and one of the things that came up was just my own karma and my own being with acceptance. And where was it? I was just writing it down. An itch. Let's see here. Is wanting something, but you won't let yourself have it. Believing someone is in your way, or life circumstances make it impossible for you to fulfill your desire. This preoccupies and exacerbates you. And so there's a piece of this that I can see. The allegiance towards the paternal lineage, especially the father and the grandfather, is too strong. And there's a desire for perfection. And what I said was, I am trying to let go of all this. And it's such a reminder, you can't let go of your karma, you can't let go of your past. And it's funny, as she said this to me, it's a reminder why it frustrates me when someone else says it. Oh, I've let go of my anger, I've let go of my judgment. It's like, you can't. Like, it's still there. And she reminded me, it's acceptance. It's the key to moving forward. Acceptance of the past, present, and future. And accepting life as it unfolds, and what I can change and what I can't change, just accepting. And I realize on the map of consciousness, there's that higher level above courage, is acceptance. I have to take a look at it again to see where it lies exactly. But as I contemplate that even, I am imagining, what am I imagining? I'm just imagining, I was imagining as I heard acceptance. It's funny, I heard the DeMartini method. That's the method for acceptance. It's balancing things out, but it's ultimately creating acceptance of it all. And accepting that whatever I see in someone else is actually me. Accepting that I have both, all the traits, positive and negative. Accepting that everyone else has those traits as well. Accepting when I get triggered by someone else, tickled by someone else, and continue to remind myself of these words, to play with the words. Acceptance. Accept things as they are. Accepting, even this morning, I woke up at around 1:30, really warm. My little man was having some challenges, and just accepting that, when mom's there, it's not going to be me that's going to be able to resolve it, and I can hold space, I can be there, I can try to support. And then I can't imagine the level of frustration and fatigue that's there. So anything that's directed my way is to actually just be okay with being with it. Not trying to fix it, not trying to fade it, not trying to add to the fire by being like, oh, now I feel bad that you said that. And just noticing when it happens. And it feels so subtle, but it's so clear and profound and direct now. It's like, oh, I can see it when it happens. Accepting I'm in the second room now, what I eventually may call the Zen Den or something else, and really enjoying it because my friend Lori came by yesterday, and helped me to declutter, clear it out, and it's actually open now. That's why I'm actually doing this here. Normally I'd always go to the other room, go to the amenities room. But the other reason to stay here today is I want to make sure if I hear any screaming that I can run over and support sooner rather than later. And all these things that I'm doing, sometimes it's such a reminder, like, if you're so busy doing the work, you're forgetting that living life is in between the work in a way too. how do you live life and enjoy things too? And I got reminded that my dear friend Francis will be coming by soon, and it's like, oh, like let's just go watch a movie or something. Yes, let's do that too. And let's put up a bunch of stuff here. Let's get all the handiwork done at the home, and let's figure out other things that we want to do. And the spring equinox is coming up soon. I'm thinking, do I do that little men's gathering that I was thinking of? Just gather some men together and see if that wants to come alive, and probably putting it out there as a possibility and just sketching out how do I want to look. And I was wondering if I wanted to do this because it's against what I'm doing with the Ohana Sage, and I realized no, this could be a beautiful pathway, gateway, practice. It will probably be important to do things like this, not just have the one big event, but what are all the regular events to bring people in, to bring people into our quote-unquote mailing list, our guidance list, all that fun stuff. And then that is also the day that we have, I have a breath with my dear friend Judy. And so just noticing there's a lot happening on the spring equinox right now. There's a really loud train in the background, so I'm going to turn on the noise canceling. I forgot about that earlier. That'll change things a little bit. I'm trying to do this at night as well with these candles here to see if that works better. Like, as well as my giant computer screen. Seeing if that helps. And seeing, does all this light, is it sufficient? Is it sufficient to make this a decent video? And if it's not, that's okay. And I've got a candle burning too. Because again, I have to remind myself this is for me. Noticing the difference in the eyelids still. And I'm going to keep saying that because I'm just noticing. I'm just inviting the body to change. And it's funny with these shadows, it makes me look definitely a little more skeletal, a little older. And that's okay. It's funny just contemplating acceptance, trying to let go. Part of it today, I have my call with Elena, and I'm trying to think, how do I make the most of this time together? How do I ask the questions that I really want answered? What are the questions? What is the feedback? What is the learnings? And part of it is, how do I actually define the traits, action, and actions for this DeMartini method that's actually going to guide me to have the right target. And part of it's probably my perfection piece. Like, I want to do it perfectly versus just do it. And sometimes it's just doing it and building the muscle that actually has it work. And that's part of it for the company. I can see, like, I remember having a client where he was building the most perfect company, and every time you could think of the next layer to make it more perfect, more perfect, more perfect. Even how you interact with your employees, how do you actually pay people properly, how do you get beyond money, all this stuff. And the problem is, if you're trying to get it so perfect, this is Bao Bao, our cat who's here, then you never get started. And right now, I'm really grateful I've got a team that we're getting started. And they're confident enough in themselves that they're willing to speak up and push back, even on things like pricing, on scheduling, on focus, on drive, on priorities. And I'm noticing how important that is for me to practice that, where it's not me saying I have it all figured out, I'm doing this the right way. Yes, kitty cat. I'm not sure what my cat is trying to tell me. I'm just going to remind him that not to jump up top and knock it all over again, because he knocked this whole setup over earlier. And hopefully he doesn't do that again. Part of it for me for life, I realize, is like I'm trying to get life to change circumstances so I can do what I want to do, especially when it comes to money and safety and security. It's like, oh, once I have this, then I can do that. And noticing how part of me wants to keep gambling and pushing for bigger returns and saying I know what's going on. I have no idea what's going to happen to the market. Right now, we're in the middle of what some people are starting to call a recession. And then some people are taking a look going, hey, no, it's probably playing with the markets so that people can load up before the next big bump, because he's not going to want the bond markets to be expensive when they have to refinance their loans in 6 months. And he may not want that, but that may be possibly what others are trying to do, is create challenge for him to refinance the loans. It's just games upon games upon games. It's fuckery upon fuckery. And what I realized in Sunday's Breath is that this is such a joke in a way, that we're all playing with all these games and making it more important than just living. This whole idea of recession, this whole idea of boom and bust cycles, I can see the outrage against it, because how is that supporting life? And then taking a look at accepting it. All these things, these pushing, pulling forces, is part of what supports life. It's the flow of energy. And then there's some outrage over what feels like manipulation, and that I can see from my paternal lineage for sure. Like, there's an outrage over when we listen to the news, like, how could this happen? How could the government do this? How could people be so silly? How could people for example, let these measles cases come out? How could all this stuff happen? And then noticing, for me now, it's almost noticing, it's like, how is all this outrage manufactured? And what could we do collectively if we weren't all in outrage, if we weren't so preoccupied with this? What's possible? Not just with the productivity of do, but just be. And that's some of it. Like, we have science fiction, fantasy books that keep talking about the harmony, the ease of work, like all these tools, washing machine, all this stuff. They're all supposed to decrease the amount of work and effort it takes to do things. And they did start fulfilling that promise early on, and they kept getting better, but then it became we need to actually create an economic cycle around each of these machines as well. There's a cycle, a life cycle that needs to happen on these washing machines. If they're too good and they last too long, they're too solid, and they don't keep improving, then they're not going to keep buying more machines. If they're not buying more machines, they're not driving the industry. But what is the industry that we're trying to drive? I do like that idea of the gross domestic happiness product. But even then, what is the balance point we're looking for? And we're creating all these things that we get and then we eventually throw out. Why? Even the stuff I like right now, the technology, we keep creating it and throwing it out. I don't know of a better way. And part of it right now, I'm trying to remember. I'm remembering is how perfect everything is. When I am deep in my own medicine, I realize how perfect everything is, and just to shut up and enjoy the ride. I get to have this ride where there's delicious food around me, where there's good air, where I've got some amazing people, where I've got a family who loves me, an extended family who loves me. And part of it is practicing finding my own self and voice, and that's okay. If that's my journey this lifetime, that's a pretty good journey. It's a pretty fun journey to have. And even seeing that there's such a connection, a stickiness with the paternal lineage, that some of the separation has served. Probably part of the reason I'm this far away physically. Probably part of the reason my brother has created some distance too, just to create his own separation, to find his own balance, his own voice. And then taking a look as I go back and travel to PEI this summer, because we're deciding where we want to live, how we want to live. It's like, maybe try something different. Live with a neighbor. Don't live in the home for as long. Go visit more. Don't stay there and sleep there. Every morning I get to wake up and I get to make choices, and I'm so grateful for these mornings. I've been practicing creating really long magic mirror sessions because I'm trying to remind me that they're for me. I'm always trying to. I'm taking the time to step beyond where I'm performing more, where I'm trying to teach more, to where I'm learning more, being more. And I remind myself, because I'm going to read through some of the gratitude, read through some of the love lists, read through the purpose statement, and see where that leads. And just remind myself of yesterday. I had such a beautiful call with this lady, Nicola, in the morning with my beloved and my son. That was early because they're doing London time. And learning about her schooling, which creates a space for children to see beyond seeing. And then contemplating whether I want to become or learn to be an instructor, and then really supporting my beloved too. And then napping twice yesterday. Oh, so good to rest a couple times. And then in between doing that decluttering project with Lori, which is so amazing because I could realize the energy that's moving and then being able to rest afterwards. So grateful for that. And then bringing my little man home and then going to the playroom, eating together, all this stuff. And then bedtime. And it's just so simple. It feels like such a simple life. And it's perfect. I had a call from Marika yesterday and Joni as well yesterday, so I got some really good conversations there too. The play is in living right now. Acceptance is the work, not trying to let go of, just acceptance. I love that I wrote that down right away because it is an important thing to remember. Acceptance, clarity and acceptance, energy and vitality. Things to take a look at this year. Things to focus on. And I'm feeling the chill from all the juice. And I want to continue drinking the juice because I realize it's good for me drinking this concentrated sunlight. All right, affirmations. I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom. It's going to be a wunderbar day. It's going to be a wunderbar day. So many wunderbar days in a row. I feel to heal. Everything is a story. The only constant is change. I always have a choice. I'm a master reader. Whatever I read, I retain. I have a photographic, audiographic mind. Whatever is really important to me, I got for life. The universe is my playground. The world is my home. And every country is another room in the house. Gratitude, love, inspiration, enthusiasm. Feelings that help people draw money to me. I'm grateful, I'm loving, I'm inspired, I'm enthusiastic. It has to die. His dream has to die in order for mine to live. The universe is waiting for me to declare my worth. If my mom was the mother I hoped she would be, I would not be the man I am proud to be today. I am magnificent just the way I am. I listen to my immortal nature and it knows. My true nature is love and wisdom. Wisdom is the instantaneous recognition that crisis is a blessing. Life is a gift, thank you. No matter what I have done or I have not done, I am worthy of love. I am made of light, what can harm me? I am worthy of having all of my dreams come true. How is this helping me fulfill my destiny? Love is all there is, everything else is illusion. No matter what I have done or have not done, I am worthy of love. I am worth it. I deserve to have my dreams. I deserve to take the time to focus on the infinite details to create them. I have a human will, and I'll align it with divine will, and allow it to fill me and inspire me to write out each dream in a specific fashion. I see my dreams with crystal clarity. I am worthy of having my dreams come true. The pain of regret outweighs the pain of discipline. So as I'm reading these, I'm being with it. I'm noticing when I step away from being with it. I'm thinking now of upcoming Joni massage, how to structure it with my beloved, myself, possibly someone else, how to actually do the podcast at the same time. So I'm noticing, reading it, wanting to be with it, and then noticing my mind being somewhere else. That's my subconscious and conscious. And being able to play with that more, because that's the piece, being able to see the different layers, different parts. And I'm wondering for myself how much of this played into ADD, that I couldn't just acknowledge that my mind is wandering and be okay with it, and then take a pause. And how is it today that, especially in classrooms and schoolrooms, that it's impossible to do that, so we feel that something is wrong. And this is part of me seeing my own acceptance of self. I want to play by my own tune. And I want to support others to be able to play their own notes. And how to do this in a society that wants to still have some order and structure and not be complete chaos. It's going to be interesting to see. So, a genius listens to the guidance of the soul and obeys. I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom. I do what I love and I love what I do. I'm a human being. I have every trait in perfect balance and they all serve. The thought that just came up was, I was so hoping and wanting that once I did the breakthrough experience, everything would change. Like I would see the change so quickly and profoundly. And it may be that someone will reflect, oh my God, you have changed so much, Nick, I can tell. Or when AI eventually goes over this, like, oh, these are the inflection points. And my conscious mind or my self-judgment mind is like, nope, it didn't change as much as you wanted it to. And then wants to blame the external. It's like, oh, the course wasn't good enough. It should have done this, this, and this. And then notice, even in the course, there was a moment that I was like, I could step in further. I could ask for more help. It's not happening. You know what? Just leave it. Just leave it. I'm reminding myself only I can insist on what it is that I need. I've had that story before where it's like, oh, they didn't meet my needs. No one knows what I want. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. It reminds me of my old trait or action or inaction. When I was a kid, my inaction of not asking for what I wanted, because I wanted a toy but I never asked for it. My action of being dreaming, but not saying anything. My trait of wishing. And so that's one of the ones I can maybe get supported on today, to tease out how to frame that and word that so it can actually be something that serves me. So I can be more crystal clear in honing this DeMartini method. Because dreaming without any action, and then creating the scenario where I can be upset. And it's both and. And I think I have some really valuable ways of looking at programs. I'm looking at it for myself. How do we not just start well, but finish well? How do we delegate and support each other so we can be in our highest and our best all the time? Because if I try to take on too much, that's not serving. Or if I take on too little, I don't give enough guidance. Whatever I see is me. Whatever I see is me. And I'm seeing more. I'm allowing myself to see more. See more, Mount Seymour. Mount Seymour. Whatever appears, I look for the other side and I'm free. I take no credit and take no blame. This too is a lesson in love. Thank you for my skills and opportunities to participate in this world. And then I meet a sage, a wise being with a universal perspective. And what does he talk about? Eternity. He doesn't think in terms of mortal time and space. He thinks about forever. So as I contemplate that, what am I contemplating for forever? Because for the next few years, yes, creating financial wealth, family, all that stuff, but what's the legacy? And what's the legacy? A legacy of acceptance? That in itself, what would the world be like? And that part of that acceptance is when I'm deep in the medicine space, is that it's like I realize everything is perfect. And what if I could still have my drive, my desires, my wants, my choices, my love in a world of perfection versus having to say this world is imperfect and that's what's driving me to go to the next thing. That there's something broken. What do you need me to help you heal? Like it's part of that is shifting from the whole idea of needing to be a wounded healer, like identifying with wounded healer. Imagine identifying with perfect healer. But perfection is one of the things as well. Like it's not about doing acceptance perfectly. And that's the piece I think I get confused with integrity. You either are completely 100% integrous or you're not. And which is why when someone else says it, it just bugs the shit out of me. Because I'm like, no, you're perpetuating the idea of perfection. And then there's ideas and then there's beingness. And it's going to be important as I keep moving along to be even more mindful and considerate of the words that I put out there, and also create the environment where I don't have to be fully mindful or considerate of things. The crassness is part of it. The inappropriateness is part of it. And getting to the stage where it's more and more and more acceptable. One answer to the 4 great questions is that we are stars, but love and light are equally true answers. The universe is an infinite school of unending spiritual light. We're here to learn, teach, and become our true nature, love and light, and those closest to us are our greatest teachers and students in the school of life. I look at great spans of time and see great order. In love, there is no loss. There is a vast intelligence running the world, and it is in order. Death is an illusion. Life just changes form. I have a great vision, and money flows to help me fulfill it. There is nothing to fix, but much to love. Happiness and sadness are the 2 sides of fulfillment. I speak from my heart, and people listen. If 2 people are exactly the same, one of them isn't necessary. Put them on a pedestal, put them in the pit. Love them for who they are, and they become who you love. There is nothing but love, and all else is illusion. Where is God not? So, as I'm reading this last little bit, I can see myself starting to imagine what would it be like to interview in a podcast Dr. John Demartini. What would I ask him? How would I say something different? How do I say something new? Like, aside from your life story, looking at it, overcoming hardships, what are the questions I want to ask? And part of it, having just listened to the telepathy tapes and watched his movie, and he'd help someone with autism see their full potential, and see their family see the full potential, is what does he see for this next generation of children, some of whom are being born with what seems like very severe developmental delays, disabilities. 1 in 20 children is being diagnosed with autism. What's there? What's there with the Demartini method? What's there with the balancing there? What's there to say that this is in perfect harmony? And then just taking a look at what comes out, because there's such a font of wisdom. That's the piece that I can see in there. He has read so much. Can I be courageous enough to ask the questions and make space for whatever answers are there? What are the questions I really want to ask? What do I really want to notice, to know? What's the basis for allergies? What's the basis for itching? What's the basis for the infertility now? Gratitude is heaven. Ingratitude is hell. Everything serves, including me. Nothing is missing. It just changes form. There are no victims, just lessons in love. Forgiveness is a passing milestone on the path of love and truth. Thank you for giving me this experience. I talk to myself with respect to a great genius. I look for the genius in everyone I meet. I link everything I do to my mission, and I am inspired by my life. I walk through the darkened doorway where fear lurks, and I turn on the light. I listen to my heart, which awakens my genius. My genius elevates me beyond my daily illusions. We're going to finish this 500-piece puzzle today. Every day, in every way, I'm getting stronger and stronger. Every day I'm healthier. Every day I'm strong. Every day I'm happier. Every day I'm clearer. I create my reality in every moment, in every hour, in every day. I'm strength, I'm love, I'm joy. Make the rest of my life the best of my life. A genius is one who listens. A genius is one who sees the guiding light of their soul, listens to the internal message, and obeys. I do what I love, and I love what I do. 10 daily pillars. Inspired action, loving service, silent presence, grateful prayer, divine guidance, sharing wisdom, caring sincerely, study truths, temperate rhythm, fair exchange. Inspired action, loving service, silent presence, grateful prayer, divine guidance, sharing wisdom, caring sincerely, study truths, temperate rhythm, fair exchange. Inspired action, loving service, silent presence, grateful prayer, divine guidance, sharing wisdom, caring sincerely, studied truths, temperate rhythm, fair exchange. Part of me as I'm reading this list is thinking, am I just doing filler with this to do the stuff of life while I'm actually recording myself, so it's actually a longer video? And there's probably some truth to that. There's probably the performance piece and saying, I want to have a big performance that's going to last, and you are going to watch this. The other part is to show what I'm actually doing in real time. And as I say these things over and over again, for the generative AI that I am creating, and I already know I'm creating it with this, it's showing what I'm willing to do over and over again, the practices. And it's showing the evolution, because it'll be easy to say in 3 years' time, this is what I do, and it's so much more streamlined. And then this is where I came from, though, and this is how long the practices were taking. And it's a reminder, it's just like doing the Demartini method right now. It takes so long to do one thing. And what if it keeps getting smoother and smoother and smoother? And I haven't done any more yet because it just feels a little daunting to do more right now. I won't lie, it does. And it probably is. That's why taking the course again and again and again, initially at least, would be really helpful. And what would make the course better? Make it the way I want it. Say the things. I am a conscious teacher, guide, facilitator, lover, father, husband, and I am present with each and every moment of life. I am a conscious teacher, guide, facilitator, lover, father, husband, and I am present with each and every moment of life. I am a conscious teacher, guide, facilitator, lover, father, husband, and I am present with each and every moment of life. So I am taking a look at the Demartini method, what I've been doing there. And the last time I did one was financial on the 9th. Today is the 11th, so I missed the 10th. I'll take a look at the highest priority actions first. And the last time I did it was the 9th. I did plan out the week ahead, and I reviewed and sent out week messages. Okay, so today is the 11th, and I'm putting Elena Demartini call as first there. I'm putting the Altaz Coralie breath. I'm putting in magic mirror work. Drinking all the juice, because I want to finish all this juice, or at least have it going to be finished tomorrow morning. What else is going to be really important today? Play and presence with family. Plan founders meeting. What else do I want to do? Let's see here. Check credenza stuff. These aren't really inspired. I'm a little tired, so I'm just going to say these things for now and leave that. I was debating whether I want to do some morning hape to clear the energy that's been there, so we'll see. But let's first go through reading some of these things and maybe taking a little bit of a rest if I need to. So, purpose statement. I, Nicholas Hogar Wong, hereby declare before myself, others, and God, that my primary purpose in life is to be a soul doctor, first for myself, and then for all those around me by teaching, serving, guiding, facilitating. And I'll do this through taking the highest priority actions every day, including taking the time for myself to explore, to do the magic mirror work, to grow, to do the Demartini method, to practice affirmations and incantations, to look at my master life plan, to continue to hone in and be clear on what it is that I can most deliver to the world, and practice delivering it. Right now, through my Ohana Sage and Ohana Breath companies with my founding partners, Marika and Matt, and eventually that will continue to expand, and I'll set up automatic systems for the intake and for the support, and for sustainable fair exchange. Also for the auto magic savings of at least 10%, and the investings and growings of assets, and the delegation of how to manage not just the money, but also the areas of life that are my lower priority actions, and are so important and high in the values, especially of those of my beloved and those I care about. I want to keep growing my biological family, as well as growing my Ohana or spiritual family, and I will also share what I learn as quickly as possible, and as thoroughly as possible, and as completely as possible, so that I contribute to the collective wisdom of the world. And I will have wealth in all 7 areas of life, already recognizing that life is perfect and I am so wealthy, and I continue to welcome and invite in more wealth and manage it as well as I can and give it purpose and flow and clear direction, so that I can create not just for the next year, 10 years, decades, but for the generations and lifetimes to come. I do this not because I want to hold on to it all and say it's mine. Rather, I'm getting clearer and clearer on my message, and by creating more wealth, I can spread that message more clearly and really found the school of unlearning. Okay. Vocational. I'm a master teacher, guide, facilitator, medicine man, traveling the world and transforming lives, and studying from the most inspiring people at the edge of challenge and support. I'm sought after. I impact the one as powerfully as the many, and I'm so excited when I have the opportunity to impact many people at once, and so excited when I get to impact one person at a time, and being able to impact those I most desire to impact for the greatest effect for a more beautiful world. I am a leader of leaders, a leader of facilitators, a leader of guides, and at the same time am able to keep seeking the leaders and guides that I want to seek. I attend the breakthrough experience, do the training, the integration, and habit forming work that follows afterwards. The creation of a business and founding with partners, especially for Ohana Sage, including Ohana Breath, creating milestones and practicing, following through, planning, hiring, founding, creation of the team that is coming together. Crafting the visions and willing the speed of my life. Creating easy, lucrative, and fun ways to bring the team together and to travel and explore in a safe and courageous and wondrous manner. To do this with gratitude, forever as inquisitive explorers, seekers of wonders, seekers of experiences, integrators of experiences, harmonizer and balancers of experiences, and finding the harmony between seeking adventure and growing the foundation to make the foundation really solid so this can exist with or without me. It doesn't depend on me. I enhance it. I do not make it dependent on me. I generate sustainable fair exchange from this to generate the foundation of financial freedom, to know that I can create this no matter what, knowing that no matter what my asset base is, I always have the opportunity and ability to create easy, lucrative, and fun work again. I have a team that really wants to work with me and that we feel like Ohana, like family. And some may come, some may go, and many love to stay, and we get to build and deepen our relationships, deepen them through all the different ways that we work together, challenge each other at the edge of challenge and support. I have the recognition of people I admire, people I love and care about, and let go of the opinion of strangers. I have something that is sought after, something where I keep being in the highest and best, where I have all the trainings and retreats and support to move with the challenges and actually drive the next level. Okay. I'm noticing there's a client I really want to become a client, and letting go because I cannot help him see what he needs to see. It's not my job to do that. I can guide him to the well, only he can choose to drink. And then I can notice, where am I missing the guidance? Where am I missing out on the guidance? Where am I missing out on the acceptance piece? Doing my own itching and scratching as well. 38 minutes in, reminding myself this is magic mirror work. This is for me, by me, through me, as me. I've got my cat here with me today, which is unusual. I'm in this meditation room, the Zen Den, which is unusual. And I'm being with these unusual choices. Not making it right, not making it wrong. Being with the fatigue that's there. And in some ways pushing through it, going, I can do this. I can do this work. I can figure out what there is to figure out. Ah, yes. Arranging for that call with Fabienne is important today. Okay. It's so interesting trying to figure out where to stay in this upcoming trip. And then letting go of what's going to happen. There's a part of me that's trying to control it. All right. All right, so for family, I am the father I want to be, a loving, fun, firm, and kind father. I am a husband, a man, a son, a brother. I am a leader in the familial home, living at home wherever I am in the world, comfortable wherever I am in the world. It's like having the most comfortable ass in the world. Anywhere I sit is the most comfortable seat ever. I am the kind of father who inspires others to want to be fathers, not some fantasy, but the reality. I am learning from the children, learning from the brothers, learning from the parents, learning from the generations before and afterwards. That's the biggest thing of being in family. It's that every single person is a teacher, whether they're younger or whether they're older, whether they're wiser, whether they're stupider, whether they make mistakes or they're getting just right, getting it just right. Learning from all that and then learning to play and have play and wonder, because if I keep playing, learning from all that and learning to play I am in play and wonder while learning. Okay. We play together as a family because that's the experience we want of living in this world. And continue to develop relationships where there's more trust, as trust is the currency. I play together as a family. Trust is a currency. Let's go with we. Just go with we. We want to play with, and building that cycle of trust and noticing when the cycle of trust gets broken and resolving that as much as possible internally within our own family rather than having to seek outside external laws. Bring it back whenever possible. I have several children who are very supported in their upbringing. I have close relationships where we spend time together and we get to see and say what our favorite things are. We get to read stories, we get to play, we get to travel together and have family vacations that are actually really fun and exciting and adventurous and new and novel, and they're not a rush or an escape. Work and play and family are so intertwined, and work and spirituality and family are so intertwined that I don't have to sacrifice one for the other, but rather each one enhances the other, and there's a knowingness of this enhancement that everyone wants us to have all three working in union, working in sacred union, working in communion. Cool. All right. Whew. Let's see here. 2025, 03, 11. So I've done some edits on that today, and that feels good. It takes a lot to do these things. It takes a lot to clarify the dreams. And if it takes that much time and effort, I can't believe I took that much time, didn't take that much time and effort before to practice this level of clarity. And I can see that now. When he says, most people don't take this much time to plan out their life, that's part of me for this magic mirror work right now. I'm actually taking the time for myself to look in the mirror. Again, notice the performance piece. Notice when I'm doing this for myself versus for others. And really, as I do it for myself, I'm doing it for others. Spiritual. All right, I can change the language on this relatively quickly. At least that part. Okay. I am a transcendental, loving, grateful, inspired, enthusiastic, certain, and present being. And presence right now is my peace. I am in my simplicity and grounded visions, and am able to be with complex material and see the hidden order of things. I am in the experience of words rather than the definition of words or looking for someone else to approve of me. I choose the most meaningful courses, retreats, experiential opportunities, and continue to dive in and learn from the guides and the masters. I guide, teach, lead, and listen to each other's songs. I channel and meet extraterrestrials. I have channeling and transcendental experiences, loving experiences, grateful experiences, experiences of certainty and presence and enthusiasm that I'm meant to have in this lifetime. I have the supporters, the family that wants to travel along the spiritual journey with me, and the loving presence that when they come, when they go, that they come and they go. I don't have to hoard. Even people or experiences. Okay. We'll just leave it at that for now. All right. Mental. I am a genius and I apply my wisdom, and I have the mental clarity to learn from every experience, gathering and recording the most important data, and whatever is really important to me, I got for life. I know how to seek out the greatest fonts of wisdom, whether they be people, books, videos, podcasts, audio experiences, and I have the mental acuity to make the most of every experience. I am a philosopher king, a mentalist, a mathematician. I'm known for my ability to decipher complex issues and bring simplicity to them, to not be caught up in the story behind how things happen, and inspire others to step into their own version of things. I don't always need to show the work because I am the work. I remain a voracious, inquisitive explorer, reading, consuming in ways to educate myself, and also watching and listening and recording every experience, and synthesizing and simplifying the most important information in the most efficient ways. I'm not just rushing to get more, rather I'm learning what is important to learn right now and applying it as quickly as possible, because see, do, teach, as I've learned from medical school, is a wonderful process where I both learn and then I start practicing it and then I start teaching it, because in all the different aspects there is learning and growth. I find the most efficient ways for me to do things right now and synthesize from the already synthesized information when that can serve as a shortcut. And I realize that everyone I learn from, I take 80%, leave 20%, or take 20%, leave 80%, whatever serves. I'm not here to fully agree with any one person in all things. I solidify the foundation by learning, teaching, and doing all at once, and I'm courageous enough to learn and share even from a place where I may not have full clarity right away, knowing that it keeps getting better and better and better. From this, I will have the privilege of a highly cultured life for the sake of fulfillment of this lifelong quest. I'll have stimulating conversations and be surrounded by people who actually want to have these conversations and dive in deep with love and care to guide each other to a more beautiful state of enlightenment. I have the ability to step away from those interactions that are not serving me. I'm noticing that I've got tightness, first of all, in the neck. Oh. And then I keep coming back to how could my breakthrough experience have been better? How was he not fully engaged? And then taking a look, how was I not fully engaged? How did I not see the questions I wanted to ask? How was I not as prepared as I want to be? And when will I ever be as prepared as I want to be? How prepared do I want to be in life? Oh. Just noticing I need to use, want to use, choose to use. I would love to use the washroom soon. And I want to finish this last piece here right now, the financial piece, and then we'll call it for now. Because there's so much more that I could do, but it's also good to take a little break and pause, because with the camera on, there's a part of me that feels like I need to keep going. There's that pressure in life. And how do I take this and notice, even without a camera on, I have my own internal judge, internal pressure in life. And then what do I really want? And then being able to choose the deliciousness, not from the avoiding, not from just, oh, I'm tired, not from not pushing myself, because part of it is finding the edge of challenge and support. That's what I'm doing right now. And that's why I'm kind of stepping into this discomfort, whether it's with the breath, with the need to use the washroom, with the tightness. Let's keep stepping into it some, but not so much that it's actually damaging me long term. Financial. I'm a master wealth generator and creator, someone who's got the Midas touch and who spreads this freely and abundantly in ways that serve, who amplifies their voice with the wealth that's already been created and the wealth that is being created for the legacy of hundreds of years to come and many generations to come. I create and I'm supported in creating systems that automate the savings and investings of wealth, starting at least $100 a month or 10% of the income, automatically going towards savings and investing in multiple areas, including cryptocurrencies, private placements, stock market, savings, and others that we know we can grow the wealth in the best way possible. Having so many trusted managers that we could spread the money around, and different trusts and structures and systems that make it as bulletproof as possible. And recognizing that regardless of what our net assets are, that we are creating the ability to generate wealth over and over again, regardless of the multiverse and regardless of the external circumstances. Finding the best teachers to learn from, different states, stories, and strategies, and having amazing managers, teachers, coaches, asset managers to guide this wealth to better places and better uses, and learning about sovereignty and trust and stepping outside of the regular system and outside of any one country that could control all the wealth. Live a life where there is so much asset generation that I can easily support my entire biological family and be able to spread it with my ohana to support amazing causes that are meaningful and investments that can supercharge and turbocharge the changes we want to see. Live a life where we can choose and play at any time the luxuries and the conveniences and the support staff that make life even more worth living. Make life even more worth living. That's what we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. So, most likely I was just thinking and contemplating, all right, creating that corporation, creating that business entity that works for right now. And then creating it so that the money's not just sitting in accounts where they can be seized all at once. Because I have a little less trust for the governmental, banking, organizational structures that they're actually going to serve. Spreading of the assets. Spreading of the assets. Okay, so I'm offline right now, and that's okay. It is 3:50 a.m. It is about time to close this part up. Let's see here. Is there anything else that's really important that wants to come through? Acceptance. Let's go back to, oh, he's resting on that. Acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. Going back to the itching and the frustration of not being able to do what I want to do. Going back to looking at how I've been trying to get the blessing of the Father, my own biological father, getting the approval through, through schooling, through gymnastics, through all the different achievements, trying to be a version of myself, and then taking that and continuing that because it's so patterned in, not good or bad. It helped build up a lot of skills that are useful now, into the biology world, the medical world, realizing one of the places I felt most free was when I was a camp counselor. And I was just being whoever I wanted to be there. But then even at the end, trying to get the approval of the director so much, I drove the truck back, the van back. Getting into med school, it's all about getting the approval of some older teacher. Like that's what's ingrained and patterned into it. Burning out finally, but even then afterwards, every time it's trying to get the approval of a boss, a leader, and then when I lose it, so to speak, I lose myself. I lose myself in someone else's disapproval or my perception of their disapproval. And then same thing with the accomplishment coaching even. Getting in the coaching world and feeling I want the approval of someone and then following through with it and continuing with it even when I didn't know what I was doing anymore. And it's only when my beloved asked me, it's like, why are we doing this? That I was able to see outside of it. And then even in the spiritual world, trying to follow spiritual teachers and guides and be like, approve of me, approve of me, approve of me. One of the best teachers was Blue Thunder Woman because she wasn't looking for our approval. She was just wanting us around because she enjoyed us. And then people both wanted to have me around and also didn't want to have me around because it's challenging. I imagine I can be challenging. And I keep stirring things up, and now I'm stirring things up in my own company, but now it's my company. And how do I listen to the support of others while still making choices? In some ways, holding firm. All right, this program is $10,000. Yes, it's a 5-month program. Yes, it's going to dive in deep. Yes, there's so many more aspects. I want to really have, what are the next aspects? Diet is one of the big ones. Sunshine, health, the health of the body. So it's not just the body work, but the health of the body. And probably I'll make a few videos on that, right? Just a few videos on general health and wellness and sunshine. General health. All right, so make some videos on sunshine, on supplements, on health, on medications. This is not medical advice. Talk to your physician and take a listen to your body. Take a listen and say, what is it that my body wants to have? What is it I'm going to ask for? How do I ask to create the scenarios where I can really listen to my body? For the supplements, for the medications, for the interventions that want to or need to be done during this 5-month period. I'm going to share my own story, not to tell you what to do. Actually, this is definitely not medical advice. Rather to share the possibilities that are there that I had. And it's my story of asthma. And this is just a story. It's easy to look at things in hindsight. It's much more challenging looking ahead. So that's the story that I want to share with people. And then share with them about the diet aspect too. How do we actually listen to our bodies and what it wants to eat, receive, more so than just a fixed diet. And then the sunshine. How do we actually start moving and listening to the sunshine and listening to our bodies? Okay. So creating a few videos for body, mind, and soul. Creating video for sunshine, video for medications and supplements, sharing story of my healing from asthma, creating video for diet and listening to the body and food. Creating a movement video, something from my dear brother Brent, something regarding a daily practice, something relatively short, and maybe start making 2 to 3 of them to start. Okay. Automating part of the curriculum, noticing what other parts we would like to add, and then we can have a super premium package in future where it's all real life guidance in real time if we want. Even listening to the music, doing regular breath, doing the regular practices. So many things that I'm learning about that I want to guide other people to learn about, and preparing them for these deep transformative experiences and bring them back to the 3D world. Part of it for me is noticing that this program that we're creating seems so intense, so in depth. It's 5 months, all this stuff. And then if you actually look at the actual hours, it's actually not that much time. It's actually only 2 or 3 days worth of time. It's like a weekend seminar spread out in a way that serves. And that's how I can take a look at it. It's like, this is really serving you more than if you did a 4-day seminar all at once. And the whole point of that is because we want to bring this back to your regular life, not just have a 4-day seminar feel really good as a self-container. And then you go back and you're like, what do I do? Following it along, following the nudges, following the ups, following the downs, and continuing to develop and dance with. All right, really want to use the washroom now. Magic mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? Thank you so much. Ciao for now.